Hello everyone and welcome back to the Savage Garage. So in the last episode of Project SRI, we went ahead and got the engine back in the car. We mounted the gearbox, fit the clutch, got the engine situated into the engine bay, and it's now being held in by a couple of the engine mounts. So what we've got to do now is kind of plumb the whole thing back in, put all the hoses on, put all the electrical wiring back on, all the various different bits and pieces that it's going to take to get this engine running again. I'm not going to film all of it because it's going to be a little bit boring. If I show you all of it, it's just going to take hours and hours of footage, which is going to get a little bit boring. So I'll show you bits and pieces. I'll keep updating you along the way. If anything exciting happens, obviously I'll film that. So I'm just going to put the thing back together the way we took it apart. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm doing is working on the back of the engine. Before I get the intake and stuff on, which is going to sit about here, I just want to get all the linkages and stuff put back, because otherwise it's going to make it a lot more difficult to get to. So if I get this linkage on, and I get the gear stick all in place, put the starter motor back on as well because it's right here, and then we can go ahead and put the intake back on, and just kind of attach everything else pretty much.
And through the years her voice, it echoes down the hallways. Some things never change. Day brought down in flames. These little rooms all feel the same. And through the years her voice, it echoes down the hallways. Some things never change.
So after a little bit of work, this is where we're at currently. You saw me put the intake manifold on, the starter motor, the alternator I actually put back on, which I didn't show back there. It's all wired up and bolted in. I also got the belt on. The coil pack is back in, the spark plugs are in there. The AC pump on the front is all back on. We've got some hoses and the ECU back on in there. What else have we done? Got the heater hoses back on. The wiring harness is all across the top. This is for the injectors, which has got majority of the harness on. What else have we done? We've put the clutch fluid cable back in. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's looking pretty good at the minute. Definitely looks like it's getting there. Put the thermostat back on, which you saw on the front. So yeah, it's looking pretty healthy at the minute. The things we've got left to do, as you'll see, this condenser has seen better days on the front, so I'm going to change that. I need to order a new radiator as well for this thing because the other one was shot. I've got to put the axles back in. I have to order a new exhaust manifold for the front because the other one was cracked. Airbox has got to go back on, which sits about here. And then I've just got to check over all the wiring, make sure all the plugs are in the right place. And then the biggest job to do, I need to relocate the crankshaft position sensor, which is down here. This is the plug for it. And on the X18XE engines, which this one is, the crankshaft sensor is located at the back left, just down there. Whereas on the other engine, it was located down the front here somewhere. I think it was under the oil filter, just here is where it was. So, the wiring for it comes down here, and I need to extend that wiring to reach around the back left so I can plug it into that crankshaft sensor. Then just the battery to go back in, fluids, good service, and then we should be good to go. So I'm going to leave that there for that video. It's a pretty short one, but I just wanted to get you guys updated on the situation at the minute, where it's at. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short little video. The car's actually coming along really nicely. I spent a good few hours out here yesterday. This next little bit is going to be a little bit tedious. It's just kind of putting things back together. But after that, things should get a little bit more exciting when we move on to the bodywork and the interior of the car. So yeah, stick around. Thank you for all the positive comments so far and all the people that like my videos. I really appreciate it. Make sure you do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.